Catholic Schools Partnership is a recently established umbrella body to support all the partners in Catholic education. That means trustees, patrons, managers, all the groups that are involved in overseeing Catholic schools, and it's an umbrella group providing support for all of them. And it has a council of 33 members, which is very large, but that's because it's representative of all these groups. The position paper launched on the 6th of April by the Catholic Schools Partnership is a very significant paper, and we look upon it as a very serious contribution, we hope, to the Irish educational discourse and conversations and dialogue about the future of schools in Ireland. It's obviously about Catholic schools, both at primary and at post-primary level, and we'd like people to read it. A lot of thought and consultation has gone into it, and it's very deliberately a position paper. It's not stating a policy for the future, and it's asking people to respond. So we would really seriously invite people to respond, to engage with the process. There's a lot of very rich ideas in the paper, and we'd like people to think them through further. There is a lot of conversation in the media and the public at large at the moment about the future of Catholic schools, particularly Catholic primary schools. And several leaders of the Church and the bishops themselves, the Bishops' Conference in 2007, made clear that they have no interest in running schools in areas or for a population that wouldn't wish them to do so. Catholic schools exist because Catholic parents want to send their children to such schools and because they're part of the mission of the Church. It's clear that Irish society is changing. There's a changing pattern in our population. There's been a lot of migration and so on. And some people, not by any means all, and certainly not all migrants into the country either, would prefer alternative patronage of schools. And the Church has made clear that where there is local demand for that, that it would be willing to participate in a process where that might come about. It needs to be very clearly understood, though, and this is a critically important issue, that this is a bottom-up process. It is not top-down. A bishop, as a patron, could never tell a local community that a particular school should be divested or given over to another patron. There will have to be parental demand on the ground, which is verifiable and measurable, and that has to be done in a way that makes sense, and we have to have processes in place that allow us to plan for this. And that's why the forum, announced recently by the Minister for Education and Skills, Mr. Quinn, is so welcome. The forum is led by people of very high calibre, will lead the advisory group, and they will plan with the rest of us in dialogue and partnership to plan a way forward, to come up with criteria and parameters within which local communities could reflect upon the future. What's deeply unhelpful in this process is that there's no point in anyone coming up with any figure about the number of schools that might be divested. The figure of 50% has got lodged in the public mind maybe. Nobody can say what the outcome will be. I could say it might be 10%, many people have said that to me, but nobody knows at all. My guess is as good as yours or as good as anybody else's. The reason we don't know is because this is a voluntary operation. It involves a huge amount of local consultation, and it can only be agreed between all the stakeholders. Therefore, no one can project nationally what the outcome will be. What we want is good local interaction on this issue, and putting figures out there about the final outturn is not helpful, because what it tends to do is it destabilises people in Catholic schools at the moment. They feel, some of them, when they hear these figures, that they might be asked to transfer patronage against their will. That will never happen. The Minister, in fairness, has made that clear, as have other government spokespersons. This is a voluntary process, and we'll have to engage people. Nothing can be imposed from above. The change of patronage of a school, no one should underestimate the task involved. With the best will in the world, it's a difficult undertaking. There are all sorts of complicating factors. One is that it's a different thing altogether in setting up new schools. Everyone can see we can have a diversity, and we already have a diversity of patronage of new schools, and that is most welcome. But where a school is historically embedded in a community, you know, generations of people from that community might have went to that school, a huge amount of money went into that school, not least from the parish. There's been a very significant transfer from parishioners' contributions over the years to primary schools, to national schools in various localities. So naturally that's one concern. A second is the trustees, those who oversee the ownership of the school. These are all charitable trustees. They all have responsibilities towards the charities that they oversee, and they must act in the best interest of the charity. So there are all sorts of complicating factors, but where there's a will, there's a way, as we say. And I think we can look to a future where certain schools move from one patron to another, provided that is based on local agreement with that issue. We'll have to address very complicated issues in the process, but that's exactly what the forum has been established to do. At the moment, the Catholic Schools Partnership is involved in a major process of consultation. The position paper we launched recently is a key part of that. That's why I invite people to participate by responding to that if they see fit to do so. We have undertaken and are continuing, it's not yet complete, further qualitative research to try and understand more deeply parental approaches and understandings of school patronage and why people go to the schools they do, why do parents choose certain schools. We also have an ongoing, very detailed consultation with various groups in the church who are involved in education, obviously, teachers, members of boards of management, members of parish pastoral councils, clergy who work with schools in various parishes, and all of that work is ongoing, and it's all going to lead in the month of June to 4 regional assemblies geographically spread around the country, where we will invite representatives from all dioceses with interests in education to come together to reflect on the various aspects of the research and consultation that we've undertaken, and to set down, hopefully, parameters for our way forward into the future. The position paper is available on catholicbishops.ie, so that's a good place to access it. There's a lot of comment on it in the paper as well, but please go to catholicbishops.ie to find the text. There is comment recently in the media, and it has been repeated several times, that the amount of time devoted to religious education in the primary school curriculum is causing a problem for other subject areas. I think the first thing to say in response to this is that ongoing review and change in the curriculum of the schooling system is most welcome, and we would like to be involved in that. That is something that all systems need to do. Schools consistently need to update their curriculum given the changing culture in which we live. But it is completely absurd to say that there is any link whatsoever between the amount of time devoted to religious education and sacramental preparation and any change in literacy and numeracy levels amongst the Irish school-going population. There is no link whatsoever. It is absolutely untrue to say that pupils attending Catholic schools with strong religious education programs and sacramental preparation programs, that those pupils are any less literate or numerate than students in any other type of school. The simple way to prove this, by the way, would be to do some empirical, simply on-the-ground research, measure the numeracy and literacy levels of pupils who are attending schools that have a sacramental preparation programme, and measure the same numeracy and literacy in schools that have no such programme. I'm quite sure that you will find that there is no link between these issues.